All right, folks. So in this video, what I'm really going to be showing is kind of how to maybe do your work more easily in especially these first few lessons of geometry. So one thing I'm going to start actually on the constructions, the guided notes here. So I'm going to open up the guided notes. It says click here to make a copy, so I'm going to make a copy of that. And there it is. So now that's where I'm going to take my notes. And notice that there's the construction tool. I'm going to want that also. And if you haven't yet watched the video about how to use the tool, you should definitely do that too. So I'm going to go back to the buzz now, and I'm going to go into the lesson. And again, there's the construction tool in the video. And the first thing you should do is watch that video, and then notice here are the essential questions. Now, I could sit here and look at these essential questions and go over here and type them in there, and that's fine, but this is going to be kind of clunky. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to grab this and pull it down. And if you're on a Chromebook, you can grab it right here at the middle and bounce it against the side here while you're holding the mouse down, and it'll kind of shadow fill half of the screen. And then when you let go of the tool, it's going to be really helpful. It's going to actually look like this. Just a minute. Come on now. You're not going to do that for me today? All right, so let's see. So it'll look like this. It'll fill exactly half of your screen. And that's great. Now you can take this, the other one that was open with your notes and the construction tool, and grab it here and bounce it against this side. And when you do that, it will fill the other half of the screen. And that's going to be super helpful, because then what's going to happen, and you're hopefully going to have an easier time than I am having in making this look the way that you want. So the great thing about it is that I can now have my lesson open right here and my notes and my construction tool right there. So it says essential questions. After completing the lesson, answer these questions. Now I'm going to go right here and I'm going to grab these and I'm going to copy them. And you could type them out, but I'm just going to paste them in. And they're automatically there. And I'm going to make a spot to answer them for later, so that at the end of the lesson, I can just come back and answer those questions. And that's what I need to do. I should read them right now too. How do you construct congruent segments, segment bisectors, angles, and angle bisectors using tools such as a compass and straight edge? All right, so read through those and everything. As you're going through the lesson, what you're going to do is these notes are in order. So congruence is one of the first things that you're going to come up to, and it's looking for the definition. So over here somewhere, I'm going to find the definition of congruence. And where is that? You should go through all of these things. Maybe it's not even on this page. Don't really remember. Let's see. Make sure that you're doing all of these. Let's see, Euclidean geometry is there, so it must be on the previous page somewhere. So I must have skipped over it because I'm not reading all of these. Are these congruent or not? Maybe it's in one of the examples. It must be. Anyway, you should look for the definition of congruence. I thought that it was going to be a pop-up. And so you're going to write all these in. So when you go to over here to Euclidean geometry, you can click on it. It says the study of geometry based on definitions, undefined terms, and the work of the mathematician Euclid. So I'm going to copy that. And so I can just put it right here like that. So that's what I'm asking you to do in these notes. Now, the other thing that I'm suggesting you do is when you get to the constructions here, let's see, particularly it's going to be with technology, copying a line segment with technology. So I don't know why it's showing this text version right now. I don't think it should show the interactive, but it's not. So here are the steps. Create a segment between 2 points. And this is just for your original line segment. So I'm going to go to the construction tool and I'm going to choose the pencil. And when I do points, I like to use thicker points. So I'm going to go like this. Now I'm going to use the line, a little thinner line, and connect those back to the pencil. And this is going to be A and B. So in the example, it says, create a segment between 2 points. You may be able to use a segment tool and select any 2 points. You may need to create 2 points first and then connect them with a segment. That's what we had to do. Create a third point that does not lie on the original segment. So this is actually going to be your first step. So I'm going to copy that. So when it comes to copying a line segment, step 1 is to create a third point that does not lie on the original line segment. So I'm going to do that, a third point right here. And I'm going to call that point C, just like it says to do there. So point C. And it's all right if yours don't look good. Mine don't look good either. Create a circle with A as the center point and point B lying on the circle. Using AB as the radius, create a second circle with point C as the center point and the radius equal to AB. So I'm going to come over here, put this in. That's the next step. And notice that I've got these extras and I can just delete those as I go. So what it says to do is to create a circle, and that's going to be with our compass, like this. And I'm going to lock that length. I'm going to use a thinner circle and to go around. And it's okay that some of it's off. And so I did that. And then it says, and now create a second circle with point C as the center and the same radius. So I'm going to create a second circle like that. And step 4 says create a point D anywhere on the circle. So I'm going to copy that because that's my next step. Go to my notes. All right, so create a point D anywhere on circle C. So I'm gonna use a different color here, just because I can. And that thing pops up all the time. So I'm just gonna take it and I'm gonna put point D right here. And I'm gonna move it out of the way because I don't need it. All right, so now if it pops up again, it'll be fine. It'll be out of the way. So this is D. And now step 5 says create a segment, or step 4 maybe, between points C and D. So create a segment between points C and D. So here's my segment tool, C and D. Segment CD is a copy of segment AB because they are identical in length. So I'm done. So now what I have is I have a steps for copying a line segment in my notes, and I should save these notes in my Google Drive. And I've practiced it at least once, and that's what I suggest you do as well. If you have questions, let me know. I hope this is helpful.